Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how I made my chenille scrunchie. And for this I'm using a blue little hair tie, and I'm using James C. Brett Flutterby in this lovely sky blue colour. And I'm going to use a 5.5mm crochet hook. Now I just recently have done a tutorial using that yarn and used a larger hook, but I want tight kind of stitches that bunch for this. So you'll also need a darning needle and a pair of scissors. Okay, so let's get started. Just pull some yarn up. In the meantime, while you're waiting for me to get all this together, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Okay, so first of all, we need to make a slip knot, and you can do that however you normally would. And it doesn't matter, you don't need to leave a massively long tail, but what we're going to, because we're going to work over it, what we're going to do is we're going to work through this hair tie. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through both of those loops on the hook. And as I say, we're going to work over this tail. We're just going to do that until we've completely covered this ring. Nice and simple. Now chenille yarn does kind of bulk out quite a lot, which is really does lend itself nicely to making a scrunchie. The other yarns you might need to do a lot more of these. So I think the last one I made was around 45 to 50 of these, but it does depend on how big this is. The other one I had was smaller. This one is larger, so it kind of just carry on doing these UK double crochets, US single crochets, but working through the loop and over the tail at the same time. And you want to make sure that it doesn't twist, that all of the stitches stay nice and well, so that the top of it is at the top, because otherwise it might make it difficult for you to do the next round, to work on it. Okay, so James C. Brett does tuft. Let's get rid of that little tufty bit. Okay, so I'm going to carry on working my way round, and I'll catch up with you when I get back to the start again. And remember, it will be a different amount for all of us, but you want it to be nice and snug. You don't really want to see any gaps between. You just want to make sure that you've fully covered this ring. Okay, so here we are. I'm almost done, but if you pull it, you still see lots and lots of blue through there. So every now and then give it a tug, and it does make these all go in a nice kind of even distribution, for want of a better word. You can pull them along and just make sure you cover the entire ring. We don't really want, when it pulls, to see too much blue, but it will do. So you just keep making sure that you pull it aside. I've got to pull some yarn out, it's getting a bit tight. We don't want that. We want them to be nice and as even as possible. Just a few more. Okay, so this is a pretty stretchy one, so it will keep doing that. So you kind of decide when you've got enough, and I think we have now. And like I said, you've got to make sure that all of your stitches are at the top. I'm going to just do another one in there. We're nice and snug now, and now we're going to slip stitch into the first one. So we've completely covered the ring. Now you know that's kind of not bad looking. You could keep it at that, but we want it to be nice and crinkly. Okay, so what we're going to do now with my work now, I've been doing a stacked standing UK treble or US double crochet, and by that I mean you do the stacked double crochet UK stacked single. But for this I'm just going to chain 2, because it's going to get so congested in there that you're not going to see them. So in the same stitch, I'm going to do another 2 stitches, but I'm going to do UK trebles, which are US double crochets. Okay, and then in the next one, you might have to pull it aside, especially as you get quite a far round here, you will have to pull them aside to see them. I'm going to do 3. And then in the next one, make sure I'm getting into the next one, you do another 3. Okay, and we're just going to continue going around, putting 3 stitches in every single one. And you have to kind of really look to see where your next one is sometimes. But just make sure. You can see it actually starting to pucker now. It's starting to crinkle, and that's what we want. We want it to completely bush up. And I'm going to do 3 in every single one. Now, if you wanted a slightly taller scrunchie, you could do a UK double treble, which is the treble in the USA. And that will, sometimes if you want it really bushy, you might want to do another row after this. So if you want it slightly taller, then that would be the way to do it. And as you can see, it's really starting to crinkle now. That is exactly what we want it to do. So if you had a child's ring, then you could be doing the same thing, but obviously you wouldn't need so many initial stitches around your ring. So there's no fixed number. You kind of just have to make sure that you've completely covered it. And keep pulling it so that you do cover that whole ring. Okay, so 3 in every one. I know this is a little boring to watch if I just constantly do 3 in every single stitch, but I want to show you the progress as we go around. Really pull that, especially with chenille, or if you can use a kind of a fluffy yarn as well, and that you will really need to make sure that you're going in every single stitch so it's nice and ruffling. If you wanted it to be even tighter ruffle, you could do 4 in each stitch around, but I'm just doing 3. I did make one a little while ago for a Christmas where I did another round afterwards, but that Christmas one's been up for a while, and it was with glittery kind of yarn, sparkly red yarn for Christmas. So if you want to find that tutorial, it's on here. So you just keep going all the way around, making sure that you get the very next stitch, putting your 3 or your 4 depending on how bunched up and crinkly you want your scrunchie. Okay, so it takes a while to get round. It is quite a hefty sort of amount of stitches, but it's worth it. It does make a really nice kind of fluffy scrunchie. And these chenille yarns you can get in such a wide variety of colours. So if you had a smaller, whoops, it does help to take that with you, doesn't it? You can, if you had a smaller ring for a child, you've got some lovely kind of pastel shades in that as well. So I'm going to pause it then, and I'm going to carry on doing my 3 in every single stitch around, and I'll come back to you when I'm almost back at the start again. Okay, so I'm almost back, and I just wanted to show you just how congested it starts to look towards the end, but that's fine. We just keep going, pulling it aside to make sure we're going in the right place. Whoops. Could have just undone that one, but okay. And I've got a couple more to do. When it's kind of that stiff and congested in there, it is easy to kind of fall out of your stitch. So I think I've got 2 left. There's one. No, actually that is it. So now I'm going to just slip stitch into the top of my first stitch and do a chain, cinch it right down, cut this yarn and pull it to end off. Okay, so now all I have to do is sew my ending, which is quite easy. I choose the largest of these eyes. I love these pebbles. This is called the Pebble. I love it. Incidentally, I have a shop, hobbyrocks.co.uk, and I do stock those in my shop, as well as everything you see that I've used today. Okay, there's also a promotion going on at the moment. That's just a little, I think that might be the end of my yarn. I can snip that off in a second. But this one, I want to just go into the stitch so that I'm pulling the knot through. There we go. And now I can just work my way down. It's so fluffy and tight. There's plenty of places to hide and bury the yarn. And the beauty of this chenille is that it is so fluffy that you kind of be lucky to see it anyway. Okay, so now I'm just going to go around my base without getting my needle stuck. Pull that through. Okay, and I'm going to go back on myself and just take it back through, and I'll make sure that I haven't got very much tail there. There we go. So that is sewn in. I just need to pull it. I'll give it a tug so it disappears inside and snip it off. And I did find my end there, and I'm going to do the same. Give it a tug and snip it off. So there we are. One scrunchie. And all you need to do, once you've used it a few times, it will kind of all be in the same sort of, you know, even. That's the word I'm looking for. But there you go. Now, that's just using the UK double crochet UK treble crochet US double. But if you used a taller stitch, it would be the UK double treble, or the treble in the US, but just as nice. But there you go. That's how I made my very simple scrunchie. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.